I have a question regarding Hajj. So please bear with me.
Okay.
I went to Hajj this year with my parents. I asked my supervisor before Hajj whether our camp is in Mina or not. He said yes, it is in Mina. But when we went there on 8 Zulhijjah, we found that it was not in Mina, but it was in extension of Mina into Muzdalifah. So our camp was in extension of Mina in Muzdalifah. So our camp was basically in Muzdalifah. So I asked them about the place, about the night of Arafah, whether they will provide another area to stay in Muzdalifah. They said, as this camp is in Muzdalifah, we can stay here for Ayyam Tashriq. You can also stay here. So they are treating the same place as Mina as well as Muzdalifah. So, but for my peace of mind, on the 8th of Zulhijjah, I went to Mina, which was 20 minutes walk from my camp, and stayed there on footpath for a part of the night. On the 9th of Zulhijjah, I considered my tent to be Muzdalifah, so I stayed there. On the 11th of Zulhijjah, I again went to Mina and stayed on the footpath for most of the night. But on the 10th of Zulhijjah, after performing Tawaful Ifada, it was nearly 2 o'clock in the night, and we were tired, and we went to our camp, and the thought of going to Mina completely escaped our minds. We didn't go to actual Mina. So should we give fidya for this year?
No, you shouldn't. Look, fact number one, spending the night of the 10th, 11th, and the 12th in Mina is compulsory, is wajib. And if somebody skipped that deliberately, they're required to give a fidya, which is the ransom of a sheep to be slaughtered and distributed among the poor people in Mecca. Exempt from that, people who have a valid excuse, such as as-suqa wal-ru'ah, the people who are in charge for the hajj arrangement and they run back and forth to serve the hujjaj and slaughter the haji and so on. Sick and people who have some sickness and they cannot stay in Mina, they need some medical attention. Exempt, and they're not required to give any fidya. Exempt from that, people who have no room in Mina. They found that they paid for a company or a hajj organizer, but they were not honest. Especially when I asked them, do you have a place in Mina? I said, yeah. And it happened with me as well. But last year I had to walk, so I didn't even go to the camp. I paid, but I didn't stay in the camp. I was wandering in the streets of Mina. Elder, people who have their wives, people who have with them children are not required to do what I did. You stay in your camp and you're not blameworthy. Do I owe any ransom? Am I supposed to give any fidya? Not the least. Is there any blame upon me? No, you're not blameworthy. The organizers are in charge. This is as far as the honesty in conveying the message, because I could have purchased a package with another organizer or a tour company who would provide me something in Mina. I would like to add a third fact. That the scholars said when Mina is full, it can be extended beyond it. So people who stay in Aziziyah, it will be sufficient as an extension to Mina. People who end up staying in Muzdalifah, and this is a lot, it will be sufficient. And they're not blameworthy as well. Why? Because it is out of my control. This year particularly, people in the streets were like ants. The streets were full of people. So there is no way that, and the cops and or the government were asking people not to sit in the streets, to give room for the Palestinians to throw the stones and go to their tents. You know, it's Hajj. So you're not blameworthy. Your Hajj, according to what you mentioned, with regards to your staying in Muzdalifah and you're staying in Mina, alhamdulillah, is done. And you don't have to give any fidya. May Allah bless you and your family.